Hi everyone, the Sumerian community of Har Bracha, honoring the prisoners of war of Israel, Alo Na'aleh, promoting Aliyah to yeshiva students, and the Upstart activist organization that educates people about Israel. Let's begin. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. Throughout the past year, we've received emails from viewers who have asked us to take the show to visit different communities in Israel. So here's a visit to the community of Har Bracha. The community of Har Bracha is located on one of the higher peaks of the Sumerian mountains. To visit Har Bracha and to learn of the history of its location, we joined Har Bracha resident Yonatan Behar.
In the Bible, Har Bracha is called Mount Gerizim. We're going up the mountain now. Mount Gerizim is 890 meters above sea level, so it's really a straight up drive. I've gone up this mountain thousands and thousands of times, and every time I do, it just thrills me more and more.
Har Bracha was established in 1983 by a small group of dedicated idealists. Today, the town consists of more than 60 young families. Har Bracha commands a stunning and strategic view of the coastal cities and the Mediterranean Sea, as well as the Jordan Valley. Har Bracha is around a 45-minute drive from the Tel Aviv-Gush Dan region and 55 minutes from Jerusalem. Har Bracha is located near the Arab-populated city of Shechem. The fact that the community is located among Arab towns is probably why many refrain from visiting Har Bracha. The residents of the community, however, feel safe and secure in their vibrant and flourishing town.
We are continuing to build and settle the land. Here in the background is a new neighborhood which is affectionately called the Banana Housing neighborhood because of the bright yellow color of the houses. These are small units that are meant for newly married couples who want to continue learning in yeshiva, but at the same time getting a profession and learning in a college in Ariel, in the city of Ariel, which is about 20 minutes from here.
The combination of Torah studies and academic education is something that is strongly emphasized in Har Bracha. After students of the local Hester Yeshiva complete their 5 years of combining Torah studies and army service, many of them continue learning in yeshiva while also pursuing secular studies.
Students who are compatible continue their studies in the yeshiva, going on to become rabbis and Torah educators. The majority, however, take part in a special program run in conjunction with the College of Judea and Samaria in Ariel. There they study for scholastic degrees in various fields, and in the evenings they continue their Torah studies here on Har Bracha. This gives them the opportunity to gain a good profession and at the same time to continue growing spiritually. Many of our residents graduated from this program, becoming productive, God-living citizens who dedicate their lives to the betterment of the state of Israel and the Jewish nation.
The Hester Yeshiva is run by Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, who is also the rabbi of Har Bracha. The Har Bracha community looks at the Hester Yeshiva as the center of the town, and the Torah study at the yeshiva is seen as the core of the day-to-day life in Har Bracha.
Whenever tourists come to visit Har Bracha, I bring them first to the yeshiva to show them Israel's true nuclear reactor, spiritually speaking, of course.
Har Bracha means the mountain of blessing. This name and a lot of the inspiration that drives the local residents comes from the story of when the people of Israel reached this location on their voyage at the end of the journey from Egypt.
Some 3,000 years ago, when the Jewish nation entered the land of Israel for the first time with Joshua, the son of Nun, God commanded the Jewish nation to come to this mountain.
Following God's commandment, half of the nation stood on Mount Gerizim, and the other half stood on the adjacent Mount Eval. The Levite tribe was commanded to stand in between the two mountains, and the ceremony of the blessings and the curses of God to the nation began.
The priests and the Levites were down below in Shechem holding the Holy Ark. And when the priests called out the blessings, they faced this mountain and said each and every blessing, "Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of the ground, and the fruit of your beasts," and so on and so forth. And after every blessing, the entire nation said, "Amen."
Looking forward to days when there will be more Jews in the area, the residents of Har Bracha feel that they're already part of the fulfillment of God's blessings to the people of Israel. That is, after all, what the name of the town is all about. Har Bracha, the mountain of the blessing.
And thank God today we see a tremendous blessing that still remains and is continuing from those times.
Before we left Har Bracha, Yonatan asked to send the following message to our viewers.
In these difficult and uncertain times, we here on Har Bracha are continuing to build the land and strengthen the spirit of the nation. A new permanent learning hall, which will allow us to accept more students, is under construction and will be completed, please God, by September. But ladies and gentlemen, we can't do it alone. Therefore, Har Bracha has decided to go public, offering options to anyone who loves God and His holy nation Israel. Anyone whose heart moves him can obtain stocks and bonds in this highly successful and extremely important endeavor called Har Bracha. What do you receive for your investment? You receive our promise to 1. Do our utmost to continue to settle, build, and defend our holy and precious homeland for you, for ourselves, and for all of our future generations. And 2, to make sure that the blessings never stop. So all you lovers of Israel, the profits are guaranteed. Help build Har Bracha today, and may God bless you all.
An event called Awake in the Night took place in Tel Aviv. This event brought together many former prisoners of Israel's wars. The name of the event was meant to emphasize the difficult mental situation with which a prisoner of war must deal, the trauma that sometimes prevents falling asleep at night. Gabi Newman met these war heroes, heard their stories, and also learned of their difficult feeling of disappointment from how they were received in Israel when they were released from captivity.
And the sons shall return to their borders. The IDF and the whole nation of Israel welcome you home.
Hundreds of IDF soldiers who were imprisoned during Israel wars gathered together for the first time. Some of them met friends they haven't seen for 20 or 30 years. They tried to relive those hard days in the Syrian, Jordanian or Egyptian prisons. Some of the stories I heard here seemed almost like fiction. For example, the story of Avraham Zuckerman.
I was a missing soldier from a group that was in Sijara. People thought I was killed by a mine. They never found my body, but nevertheless, they issued a death certificate and sent it to my parents. Meanwhile, a group of enemy soldiers caught me and took me to Lebanon.
We
were the first Israeli prisoners of war. We fought in the pre-1948 Lehi organization. In 1946, we were caught after an operation against the train station. We were apprehended by the British, and we were sentenced to death, and later pardoned.
Even after many decades, the memories from those days are real as if they happened yesterday.
It was in the Abu Sia prison. It had 3 floors. We remember the numbers of the rooms in which we sat. Here we saw a picture of the Abu Sia prison from above. It gave me the chills. It was lonely. We were always alone. The bugs were on us all night. And there were the interrogations, the beatings, every morning. What bothered me really was the mental torture, more than the physical torture. When we sat in the prison, waiting for our execution, our main thoughts were of our parents. I'm a single son. When my mother heard of the verdict, her hair became white overnight.
Their time in prison has forever marked their souls, each one carrying scars from those dark days. Some of them try to forget but cannot fully escape the memories.
The truth is that for 25 years I thought that the captivity is something that is history for me. Lately I've understood that those days were a significant part of my life.
From all of these men there is a commonality one cannot ignore.
We were sent to the canal, to the posts. Everything was good. The fact that we were captured is the reason we're alive. God saved us. We feel like we're looked upon as traitors. No one looked at us for 30 years as if we did something wrong. They didn't know how to relate to us in the right way, in terms of the mental help that most of us needed. They wanted to let go of us as fast as possible, so we wouldn't become a burden on the defense ministry. In Iraq, there was a soldier who was released from captivity. She was treated as a war hero. Here you could see 300 guys who fought with their teeth against thousands of soldiers. We came back and we were treated like rags.
You, where did you serve? In which unit? When were you captured? Okay, now listen up, soldier. Take your kit bag, take off your Egyptian uniform, shower, get dressed in an IDF uniform. You're being recruited again. Today, when you go home, don't talk to anyone about what you went through.
Well, hopefully thanks to events such as this one, these veterans will now feel the appreciation they deserve. We'll be back in a moment with Alon Na'aleh.
Be sure to visit the Israeli Salad website. On the Israeli Salad site, scroll through all the editions, see what topics were presented on each program, and simply click on the icon to watch your favorite program. Also, watch all our fantastic music videos featured right here on Israeli Salad. So be sure to click on www.israelnationaltv.com/salad.htm. That's www.israelnationaltv.com/salad.htm.
Following the Shabbat on January 15th, a special conference promoting immigration to Israel, Aliyah, took place at the Renaissance Hotel in Jerusalem. The conference was organized by the Alon Na'aleh organization, founded by North American rabbis now living in Israel. We spoke with Rabbi Shalom Gold, rabbi of the Zichron Yosef congregation in Har Nof, Jerusalem. Rabbi Gold is the founder of Alon Na'aleh, and he spoke at this conference. Shalom, Rabbi Gold.
Shalom.
There are many pro-Aliyah events that take place in Israel and abroad. Who was your target audience?
The group that we're dealing with are those English-speaking students who've come to Israel for a year of study, and they came tonight from 20 different yeshivot. And this is a group that certainly during the time that they are here, they should be inspired to consider the option of living in Eretz Yisrael. And especially since they are versed in Torah, they're religious, they're committed, they're an audience to talk to.
Why? Is it easier to promote Aliyah to people who are involved in Torah?
Obviously, it's much easier. There's terminology that they understand. It's not like starting from scratch, even though sometimes I have a feeling that maybe somebody who doesn't know much will simply be inspired by the idea that there is an Eretz Yisrael, and they're already living in communities that have made peace with the exile. So it's very difficult to tell, but I think that we've seen now, year to year, there are more and more students who are choosing to return after they finish their education, to return to live in Eretz Yisrael.
So Rabbi Gold, what was the main message that you tried to convey to the participants of this event?
I feel the most significant message is that Eretz Yisrael, to our young people today, Tafshin Samachay 2005, presents a unique challenge and an opportunity. They are young people who are not going to be fleeing from anti-Semitism. They're not running from persecution. They're not escaping danger, but they can make a choice a free choice in the fullness of their humanity, they can make that decision that they want to join Klal Yisrael's destiny in Eretz Yisrael. And also I wanted them to know that they finish their education, they come home, they can make a significant contribution to Jewish life here. American Olim or Olim from Western countries have made important contributions in every area of human endeavor. I dream of 100,000 American Jews, young people and their families coming here with all of the wealth of their knowledge, their sense of decency and democracy. We can make a spiritual and a cultural revolution in this country.
Okay, Rabbi Shalom Gold, Alon Aleh, thank you very much for joining us.
Yoni, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure being interviewed by you.
Please send your comments, ideas, and questions to the Israeli Salad email, yoni@israelnn.com, or leave a message on the Israeli Salad voicemail at international dialing code 972-3918-5554. That's 972-3918-5554.
Ever asked yourself, how can I help promote and defend Israel and Zionism? Well, David Miller met Michael Eglash, one of the founders of Upstart Activist. Michael decided to help Israel and also help other people who want to help Israel.
Israel has always had a difficult time in the area of public relations. While our leadership has kept our interests in the forefront, winning wars that require men and bullets, the battle for the hearts and minds of those who would support us has taken a beating. So what to do? Enter Michael Eglash, co-founder of Upstart Activist.
I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I made Aliyah in 1993. Previous to making Aliyah, I was quite active on the college campus as a pro-Israel activist, and this was during the time of the First Intifada through the Gulf War. And I was in charge of the pro-Israel group, and there was a lot of anti-Israel activities, a lot of anti-Semitism, and I was able to turn a very, let's say, negative situation into a very positive one in terms of getting people involved in Israel, encouraging people to visit Israel, and really setting the tone on campus in terms of how people view Israel.
U.S. college campuses are the new battleground here, and Upstart Activist is leading the fight.
Let's focus on being proactive and educating people, and not always responding to what's happening on the campuses. And that's where we're able to really, establish ourselves as an excellent provider of information and materials and campaigns, whether they were written or whether they were web-based.
IsraelOnCampus.org, a major tool for Upstart Activist, has made its way into some of the most well-known universities in the U.S., Harvard and Brandeis, just to name a few.
I'm specifically mentioning the Israel on Campus initiative, which is a special initiative where we were able to create a network of pro-Israel leaders on campuses where they would be able to share information, share ideas, have their own website on a campus, which would enable them to market Israel more effectively, bring more people to their organization, and change the attitude about Israel on their specific campus. We stepped in providing workshops, seminars, working with students, creating initiatives, campaigns to help them in their efforts. Our first booklet or material that we created to help students in their efforts to fight anti-Israel propaganda was the Israel Activist X-File, which really consists of a number of unique flyers which students downloaded and put on campus to change the image of Israel, and again to fight the negative image, as well as different ideas of how to run campaigns.
One of the most difficult issues they overcame was the Palestinian effort at divestment from Israel.
They held demonstrations, they held rallies, they put articles in the newspaper, and they really were able to defeat a number of these anti-Israel divestment initiatives on the college campuses with our help.
Since its founding, Upstart Activist has grown into the preeminent organization for pro-Israel activism, and they are now taking calls from around the world.
So if you want to help yourself help Israel, call Upstart Activists at 972-54-565-5432 or visit their website www.upstartactivists.com. And now our weekly insight. Today we'll be discussing the Parsha, the portion of the week of Yitro. Shalom, Rabbi Samson.
Shalom, Yoni. Shalom to all of our viewers around the world.
In the Parsha of Yitro, we read of one of the greatest events in Jewish history, the Revelation at Sinai. Today I'd like to focus on one of the 10 commandments, honoring the mother and the father. This commandment is of course an important precept, but how did it get into the Big 10? What's so important about this precept that makes it one of the 10 commandments?
Yoni, when you ask why the 10 commandments are formed in such a way, you're asking a question that has to do with the basis of Judaism. And the precept of honoring a father and a mother, even though it's a simple kind of thing, and that you might even find cats and dogs that honor their fathers and mothers and wonder why it has to be one of the 10 commandments. However, Judaism is predicated on tradition. Judaism is based on honoring a father and a mother, and we believe that our father and our mother know more about life than we do ourselves. We don't invent the wheel in every generation, and we try to tune in to what our fathers and our mothers have taught us. And in such a way, we're able to plug into our great history and recognize what it is that tradition has to teach us, and that's only by honoring a father and a mother. I decry the situation amongst humanity in general where the honor of a father and a mother has degenerated into nothing, and the new generation, in a way, is just kind of lost. And I think that that would be a great gift that the Jewish people would be able to give to all of humanity, to return to a very basic concept of, once again, honoring a father and a mother.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Samson.
The Weekly Insight is brought to you in cooperation with Machon Meir, the largest Zionist institute in Israel, bringing people closer to Judaism.
Okay, that's all for this week. We'll be back next week with another program. Until then, from all of us here at Israel National News, Shalom.